All right, welcome back. Today we are going to scrap out a drive and we're going to pour a couple of coins. So let's get going on this drive. This controls a return air fan and a large air condition application. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrap it for any metal and then pour some coins. All right, so we're going to scrap out this drive. Let's see what we have here. This is the keypad. Probably some aluminum wires there. Little starter. We'll probably have some silver in here. Let's see how we get to this. I feel like I'm missing a screw somewhere. Let's start by taking off the cover. I feel like listening to some music. Ta-da! So I see a little bit of gold-plated items. Not much. We'll go after some foils. A little bit of gold-plated pins here. We'll just take out these cards. See what we have. A little bit of gold. There's probably some silver in these relays. Silver in the relays, a little bit of gold pins. Not much on these terminal connections. Man, the drives sure are getting smaller and smaller. I replaced this, and it's like this big. It's incredible how small they are now. Some capacitors, terminal strips. There's really not much on that. Some very thinly plated gold pins, and we got some chips here. So nothing really stands out. Most of the value probably be in the aluminum heat sink. So we'll have some silver in this keypad. I feel like I should keep this. See if I can reuse it at the site. So that's not going to get recycled. I'm going to take that back. Hello? Hello. All right, take two. So we're going to have to go after the silver in these and break it away from the heat sink. There's so far there's not really much. We've got some chips. I'll break those open and see if we got any gold plating on those pins. A little bit of tantalum capacitor, some chips, really thinly plated gold. Same here, some silver in the relays. It's going to be tiny, a little copper too. Another chip that will go in the bucket. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to take these wires off. I feel like these are probably aluminum, as cheap as the people make stuff. So, but it'll still go in the wire pile. We'll separate the two starters and the switch over there and the power supply. We'll break that open. So I'm just going to pause it just for a second. All right, through the magic of YouTube. Look, I just cut these wires off. It's easier to cut off right now than to mess around with the screwdriver, and I'll loosen this up. Looks like we still got two wires holding this. So what we'll have under here is probably the capacitors and the power supply for cleaning up your voltage for the drive. So I am going to take that off. We'll get to these in just a minute. We did have a little bit of gold on our pen connections here, so you can see here there's very thin gold on it, but we're going to put it in our gold storage container. And we'll process that in a later date. But let's see what's going on with these capacitors and the power supply. I'm not sure what this pot metal is yet. We'll find out. Kind of sounded like sheet metal to me. And I might have to get a bigger screwdriver. So this is holding the circuit board down to the heat sink. We pulled the wires off. I got to remind you guys, if you're messing with drives, be careful of the potential energy that could be stored in the capacitors. This has been sitting for months, so I'm not that worried about it. I probably should have checked for voltage, or at least ground them out like this, you know, so you'll see this, you know, let's ground them out to make sure. We'll go phase to phases. So we've got no potential energy on that capacitor. Just please remember when dealing with this stuff that you could have some potential energy. All right, so let's see what we have here on this board. All right, it's got that dielectric gel we all love. Take that from this way. So there are your capacitors. We still have a little bit more to get to till we get there. All right, so these more than likely are going to have silver in them. And we'll check out any of these chips for anything that's a little tantalum. We'll do that. There's a little coil there. So we'll see if that's aluminum. We got one resistor to go into the pile, and we'll check these oils out. Some more tantalums. And that looks like it may be gold plated, but got a little bit of gold in there. Not really much. You can see on the other side there's not really a lot. So we'll just put that into the circuit board. All right, so we're going to take this off and get to the motor. I mean, the transformer is going to be in here, hopefully. The power supply, we'll see what's going on. I feel like there's the transformers in here, but we'll take a look. We'll pull this off and see what's in here. This is looking like pot metal. This looks like some type of zinc aluminum or mixture. But we'll get into it. So time out. Leave this unfinished. These are mounted on den rails, so I'm going to have to tear them from a top. They're riveted on, and I don't feel like drilling them out. I can get to them from the top. We'll pull them off and see what kind of silver we have. Remember, kids, don't do this at home. Oh, that's not bad. Got a little bit on there. So we'll add that to our little collection here, but all it took was a little bit of manhandling. We got it off the gen rail. Little auxiliary contact there. We'll break those open and see what's inside of it. It's not too bad. We've got a little silver here, so I'll pull those off. We'll see what's behind it. These little overloads, I'm not sure. I feel like the heaters are in here, so that's not going to have much. But we'll see what's in there. I'd like to separate them, put them in with my silver contacts. They're small, but we'll get there. Got a little bit of organizing to do. It turned out pretty nice. They're double wound. They're part of the frequency conversion for the drive. A little bit of aluminum, and we'll tear open this power supply and see what this has to offer us. But so far we got a little bit of silver, some copper. That wire's funny. It looks like aluminum plated copper or something. I can't figure that out. Looks like copper in the center, but aluminum on the outside. Anyway, little silver, little copper, a little bit of gold from the touchpad, and we'll get that chip into the chip bucket over here. And man, I think we're getting to it. All right, so I had to get a little physical to separate the plastic. The Torx bits looked like they were metric. I used metric, I used standard, and I couldn't get it to work. Hey, this is metallic, I might get copyrighted, so let's stop them. So the silver here, it's not too bad, man. I got a little bit of silver plate out of that. We'll see. I got some copper. We got a little bit of silver. I did lose one of these somewhere. I'll have to check for it, but I'm not too upset with things. And I think I'm going to clean up this dielectric paste, but this looks like it could be silver. These little contacts that are on that, from the contacts to this heat exchanger. So we're going to separate this, and man, this dielectric paste is nasty. It's really sticky. It's like that ectoplasm stuff from Ghostbusters, I guess. So we're going to pull the stuff off. We'll take a close look at it, and we'll add it to the pile. But it's not bad. The drive had a fair amount of decent material in it. Again, I like the silver, so that's what I go after. Not a lot, but a little. It's enough to make up some stuff in a big picture. You know, from the touchpad, it's got a little silver, a little gold, and not too bad. So there you have it. All right, man, that is not too bad. It's not magnetic. It looks like it's silver. We're going to run a little test on it. I don't know if I'll put it in some nitric or sulfuric acid and nitric to see what's going on with it, if it's silver plated, but that's not too bad, man. We came up with a little bit of silver today. You know, we've got some on that from one of the phases of the starter, contactor, excuse me. So, you know, we've come up with some silver today, a whole bunch of copper. Not a bad day for scrapping, I believe. So, there you go.